know I like to get you something better than this, but I can't. Because I don't have no money right now. I'm broke. So all I could really do is show you how much I love you and appreciate you. So happy Valentine's Day, baby.
Baby, I love you, don't you notice? You the reason why I wrote this. When everything else feels hopeless, you put it all back in focus. When I'm sad and I wanna cry, I can take a look into your eye. To your surprise, just realize you make me glad to be alive. Made you smile many times, made you cry plenty times. Apologize every time, need me, call me anytime. Together this world can be ours. Get the money and get the power. Give you candy, gifts and flowers, then caress you in the shower. Got big plans for the future. I'm your man, I just can't lose it. I gotta prove it to you the right way is how I do you. Need a real woman by my side, filled with love and a lot of pride. Don't keep your feelings up inside, express them to me and never hide. I'm not perfect, but I'm worth it. More to you than just your surface. All your kisses and your wishes making me feel all so nervous. Don't wanna live without you, there's something that's so real about you. I can't explain, you take my pain. My love for you is nothing but true. All the love I feel inside is keeping me alive. When I look into your eyes, it's keeping me alive. Whenever I see your smile, it's keeping me alive. Thoughts of us having a child, it's keeping me alive. Don't wanna be like Bonnie and Clyde, cause they already done died. Anticipate our wedding date, the day you become my bride. Cause I need you in my life, plus I see you as my wife. Our love don't have no price, kiss and hug at night, that's right. I love your waist and your thighs, love your face and your eyes. Your taste make me rise like a cake between your thighs. Never experienced real love until I finally met you. Cause you special, can't forget you. When you gotta go, it's hard to let you come back. Don't be long, you know I miss you when you gone. I can't kiss you when you gone. I won't hit you, that'll be wrong. Been through dilemmas like Nelly and Kelly, but you tell me that you ready. I believe you won't deceive you, so I hold you nice and steady. Wipe your tears with my finger. I'm a rapper, you a singer. Many nights full of laughter now. Tell me, do you remember? Hold you close, propose a toast to the one that I love the most. Other women try to boast, but none of them could ever come close. All the love I feel inside is keeping me alive. When I look into your eyes, it's keeping me alive. Whenever I see your smile, it's keeping me alive. Thoughts of us having a child, it's keeping me alive. I would die for you, give my life for you, give my day, give my evening and give my night for you. I'ma succeed, proceed to fulfill my dreams and share it all with my queen. Cause you already know one thing, I love them bass just on some green. You deserve the finer things, necklace, chains, and diamond rings. When we get the same last name, maybe then your friend will start playing these games. But until then, he on thin ice. Lately things ain't been too right. I guess it's just the stress of life that makes me a little bit less than I apologize. Please don't cry. Dry those tears from beneath your eyes. Head to the sky. Show your smile. Never give up and always try. When we apart, it hurts sometimes. We made it through the worst of times. Our time to shine. I'm glad you mine. We can stand the test of time. Cause I appreciate you. The best thing I did was date you. Never hate you. Congratulate you. Show you love whenever I face you. Make me happy to be alive. To make you happy, I'm gonna strive to be the best that I can be. You and me will always survive. All the love I feel inside is keeping me alive. When I look into your eyes, it's keeping me alive. Whenever I see your smile, it's keeping me alive. Thoughts of us having a child, it's keeping me alive.
What's up, Straight Talk Society? This is your host, Trevor, and I'm back with another episode of the Straight Talk Sessions. This is a very, very, very special edition. Ugh, what just happened? I got caught up there for a minute. Um, and like I said before, whenever you guys hear that song, you know it could only be one thing, that it's going to be a joint collaboration with me and my baby girl, my big baby girl. So let me bring the queen of the Straight Talk Society on before we get into what we're getting into today. What's up?
Hey.
Well, so as you guys can see by the thumbnail, today's a special day for us. We're celebrating our 10-year wedding anniversary. So right off the bat, because this was just like a pop-up impromptu thing. So, I'm just going to kind of let go as the spirit flows with this one. So right off the bat, 10 years. Did you ever think that was imaginable?
With you, after we got married, yes, I did see that it was imaginable. Before you and I hooked up, got married and all of that, I didn't think that was going to happen for me due to my past relationships. But once you and I got together, then I knew it would last.
Oh well, hold on. Peace, Angel. Peace, Tequila. Is that Corey?
Yes, that's Corey.
Hey, what's going on, bro? Welcome to the Straight Talk Society. You finally made it over here. So, all right, because we always talk about marriage, and everybody who knows me, everybody who hears me talk, I'm always talking about marriage. How much I think marriage is needed in our community. How I think that the lack of marriage in our community is what is ruining our community. I always say that. I never change. So here we are, 10 years. We've had people that got married around the same time that we got married. We got people that got married before we got married, shortly after we got married, and they didn't last. So did any of that ever discourage you?
It didn't discourage me. It concerned me a little bit, especially those that got married before us, and knowing that a lot of them got married, later. And I hate saying later in life because it makes me feel like we're old and we're not, but got married later in life, to see how you get married later in life, like we did in our 30s, and then seeing that it didn't make it past that first year. So I was a little concerned. It didn't discourage me, but I was a little concerned. And, I just took it year by year and realized that everybody's relationships are different. So, I couldn't compare our relationship with what anybody else was going through in theirs, and the fact that theirs didn't last, because it could have ended for numerous reasons. So.
All right. So, because y'all could tell when I asked her that question, you see that look on her face. Because again, we live in the same house, but we don't. There's no production meetings here.
He puts me on the side just like he does his other guests.
So I literally hit record, and then it's all coming from up here now. So let's do this. Let's go back, okay. Because we've been married for 10 years, but we were together 2 years before that, right?
Yes, this December will be 13 years that we've been together.
Okay, so let's go all the way back, and let's go back to our first date, and I'm gonna try to add some production over here in this.
Oh
I'm gonna bring something up for you. Let's go back to our first date. We're going back to what, December 17, 2011, right?
Yes.
Look at that. I told you I got a memory like an elephant. Look at this lovely couple right here.
Oh.
I didn't even have hair on my face at the time.
I was rocking my shortcut back then, though. I was rocking it.
So let's look at this night, because so what happened, and I love to tell this story, because what happened this night was everything that could go wrong went wrong as far as the lead up to the date. Real quick, I had come off of I had just come out of an 8-year relationship. I took 13 months off where I just was done. I wasn't getting in any relationships. I wanted to work on myself because I felt like I was the problem, that I could have all these long relationships and they never lasted. So I'm not the guy that's going to be like, oh, everything is a learning experience. No, it's like, hey, you're probably the problem. So I took 13 months off. I wasn't going to date. I wasn't going to do anything like that. But we had a class reunion. I ended up seeing her again after all these years. And I was like, oh, shit, I got to go out with this girl. So the day comes that we're supposed to go out. And like my truck is giving me all type of problems, and it like everything was going wrong. Like I was calling her and she wasn't answering, so I thought that she was trying to back out of the date. So what do you remember from this date?
Oh gosh, I remember I was tired. I don't know what I had done earlier that day, but I remember that I fell into a nap. You know me now; I don't take naps. I'm not a good nap taker because then I'm like, it's hard for me to sleep during the daytime, and then I'm up all night. But for whatever reason, I took a nap. And when I woke up, I saw that I had so many missed calls or whatever. And I got a text. And I don't know why the text didn't say it was from you or, oh, I know why. I'm not going to say, oh, God. I had you saved in my, now I know. I had you saved in my phone as these initials. And I think they were like the same initials as somebody else. So when you're texting me, you're not telling me who you are, obviously, because you'd already given me your number. And I'm responding to you like you're this other guy and not like this is the man that I'm about to go on a date with. So I said something crazy. I don't remember what it was, but it was not appropriate for this person that I'm about to go on this first date with. That's what it was. I thought you were somebody else. And thankfully, you didn't just stop texting me. You like straightened some things out. And then after I realized who you were, I was so embarrassed, but we got it back on track. But that's what it was. I was asleep, and then I thought you were somebody else.
So do me a favor. You handle the chat for me.
Okay.
Because I got to keep scrolling back and forth between screens. So we end up going on this date, and I never forget. I always do this. I call my cousin Steven, and you could call him, and I said, Steven, I said, I think that this is the last date that I'll ever go on. And it was that simple. It was that simple. We knew each other in high school. We actually played Romeo and Juliet together in high school in the 9th grade. And then we didn't see anybody. We didn't see each other again the entire time in high school. Like, this is the craziest thing in the world. So we got in high school 1994. We graduated in 1998. We were in one class in 94 where we happened to play Romeo and Juliet. Then we didn't see each other ever again. And it just so happened that we were having a reunion. That's where we saw one another.
Shout out to you for putting that together.
Yeah. Shout out to the general. And so it's like, and then that's like, that was it. We went on this date and it like changed my whole process of like how things were. I'm like, man, like I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, I done took myself off off that 13-month hiatus. So we start doing everything together to the point where it was like white on rice, literally. Where you see one, you see the other. So that was in December. That was in December of 2011. So we made it official January, New Year's Eve night of 2012. I asked her, will she go with me? I took it back to the old school. We were chilling, watching Titanic New Year's Eve night, having some Pizza Hut and some wings. And right as the clock struck 12, I was like, I asked her, I said, will you go with me? And then that was it. Like, that was the last time. You know? I'm telling you, man. Hey, listen. Hey, like I told you, man, the Straight Talk Society, you're gonna get it all over here. This channel is meant to promote positivity in the Black community. So we're gonna promote positivity through love. You know what I mean? So we use our life as an example to show you guys that love still works, because we always talk about this Black love. Black love does exist. So that was 2012.
Yes, Corey, I see that. That would be awesome.
Oh yeah, Corey, whenever you're ready, brother, just awesome. Let me know, man. Come on, I need you to come back to the Straight Talk Society anyway, because I got an announcement later that I'm going to drop. So we end up dating for a couple of months. And when I say a couple of months, I want to show you how fast I move. So we officially got together in January of 2012. That was January. At the time, I was 32 years old. So I was like, yeah, was I 32? Yeah, January 2012.
You were about to turn 32.
Yeah, turning 32. So I'm like, bro, I'm not wasting no time. I've been in a lot of long relationships. They have all failed, but I know what love is. So I didn't waste any time. So it brings us to this this moment. Don't get weirded out, because I know how you get whenever I show this, but it brings us to this moment here.
Oh my God, look at my face.
So I had been acting weird. This was June 25th? Yeah, June 25th, 2012. I had been acting weird for about a month, because secretly I'd been planning on asking her to marry me. And we got it all together, and I just did the whole she knew something was up, but she didn't know what was up. You know what I mean? So
he's not good at keeping secret. I mean, he kept the secret of what it was, but the secret that something was coming, he wasn't good at that part. So I knew something was going on, because he was acting crazy.
I again, shout out to the General Q. I got with Q, I got with Shaka behind the scenes, and I was like, listen, I said, I'm terrible at planning, but this is what I want to do. I need you guys to get in contact with everybody, and I want it on this day. I'm going to ask her to marry me. And I remember the drive, like she didn't know where we were going or anything. I was singing to her and everything. She's like, probably like, what the hell's going on? So we get to the restaurant, and she walks in, and she walks in like crazy. Like she sees all our family and friends there. And so what we did, I had just started like getting heavy into the personal training. So so the cover was that it was basically a party that I launched a personal training business. So that was kind of the cover. Now, she probably knew it was a bunch of bull crap, but because why wouldn't I tell her? Why would I keep it from her? So that's how that happened. And then we ended up, so then that's when you get this situation where I ended up asking her to marry me. And I remember telling her, I was like, you know what? I said, I don't know a lot in life. I don't know. But I do know one thing, that I don't think I could go on without you anymore as my wife. And like, for me, y'all hear me a lot of times talking. To me, marriage is everything. So y'all hear me talk about marriage all the time. So like, I respect the hell out of marriage more than I respect pretty much anything. So the fact for me to even ask her that, I'm talking about, I was 32 at the time. So I was still like, that's when I was working out and everything. She'll tell you, like, I was an animal, man. She saw me, and that's when I still had my 6-pack and everything. I was, that's what I led with, like how sexy I am. You know what I mean? So she was like, so you know what I'm saying? So like, why would I want to take myself off the market, man? But I knew what I wanted. And that's why I tell the fellas, man, if you don't waste people's time. You know what I mean? If you're not gonna, if you don't want to be with this woman, and you know that she wants to be married and stuff like that, just don't waste her time, man. So we ended up proposing. I ended up proposing to her, and she gladly accepted. So now here's my question: like what if you would have said no? Like what would that have looked like?
I need to ask you. What if I would have said no?
Man, I would have been devastated, man. Like I don't know if I could have recovered from that. Honestly,
you wouldn't have continued to date me.
I don't know, man. We got 10 years in, but I don't know. I think my male ego would have been so crushed and bruised. I really don't know. So
the thing with me, I date intentionally. I'm very intentional when I date. Even when I was dating not the right guys, I was intentional. So when for me to be dating and be serious with someone, I knew that it was somebody that I saw myself with. So, and how fast we were moving and how deep things were going, I don't see myself having having told you no. All right. I like this comment that Bridget put up. She said she'll never forget me posting that I spent my last Christmas alone. And Bridget, it's funny because, you know, Facebook now just be reminding you of all your craziness from the past. So every year that post comes up and your comment under is the first thing that jumps out at me because I remember you responded to that. So it was Christmas. I want to say Christmas 2011. You know, we had just had our first date. And at that time, you don't really know what's going to happen, but I knew what I wanted. I knew what I deserved. And I knew what I saw in you. So I knew that was going to be my last. That was going to be my last Christmas. Like, off the mark.
What was so funny around that Christmas time? I remember because after our first date, I think the next night we went on the beach and then we watched the sunrise. We watched the sunrise come up. And I remember posting on Facebook, I was like, you know what? I've never seen the sun. It was to the effect of I've never seen the sun shine so bright or something.
Oh, in his
yeah.
feelings.
Hey, I'm lyrical, man. I just I'm very lyrical, man. So peace to the deplorable black king. Deplorable black king. I'm wondering if that's Wayne. I'm not. I think it is.
Ask him. You saying it?
Yeah, I said his name anyway, but peace anyway, man. So yeah, we so now we're engaged and everything. And here's the thing too, because you know a lot of times engagements now last forever. So we got engaged in June. So here's the funny thing: we got engaged in June, and I feel like peace out, Wayne. So I figured like the next day she pulls out this big Bible of like wedding colors, and I'm like, bro, like what's going on?
I was 32. I ain't had time to play. I was 32 and still hadn't had any kids yet. I wasn't playing.
I'm like, man, give me a chance. I'm like, damn, give me a chance to at least take it all in. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, give me a chance.
I'm planning this wedding.
She's like, well, what colors do you want? How many people you looking at inviting? Do you want to do this? And I'm like, whoa, like what? You know what I'm saying? So we got engaged in June, and because you know a lot of people I mean I'm gonna have to tell the secret, but a lot of men use the engagement to buy some more time.
That's it.
So they'll engage, they'll get engaged, and then they could stretch it out a whole another year, another 2 years and things like that. I didn't want to do that. Like that wasn't my intentions, but I didn't think we was going to get married in such a quick turnaround that we did. I mean, but it was all good. So I just want to show you, I just want to share another picture with you. This is like my all-time favorite picture ever of the two of us. And I use it as my, as a thumbnail for this show. Look how slim I was. I don't know what I was telling her, but whatever I was telling her, man, she had that look on her face like, man, like I trust this guy with anything. You know what I mean? And I think that's so lost in this whole social media world and everything. Like guys ain't got no game no more. They don't know how to rap to a girl. But whatever I was saying to her was just like so, just so lyrical, man. You could just see the look on her face, man. It was just like, it was crazy. So here's another picture from that shoot, man. We felt like we were movie stars that night, man.
That was a fun night.
Yeah, our photographer AJ Shorter, man. Shout out to him, man. He was tremendous. So now the day comes, April 21st, 2013. You follow me on the podcast. I bring this up a lot of times. I talk about this a lot. One of the most important days of my life, because it was the day two things happened. It was the day that my father affirmed me, and it was the day that I feel like I took that step into manhood, as far as being like, okay, you're not just worried about you now. Now you're taking on, you're making a pact in front of the Most High to now say that you're going to be responsible for someone. And I never forget, I always tell the story that when I was standing alone by myself, my dad came over and he kissed me on the forehead and he told me how proud he was of me. He used an expletive, but I ain't gonna use that. I think I hit my expletive quota for the year. So my dad kissed me on the forehead and told me how proud he was of me. And I just felt like at that time I could just run through a wall. But then I'm taking on the responsibility to say that now I'm somebody's husband. And here's the thing. I had never seen a good marriage. I had never seen a good marriage before. My dad wasn't good at marriage. So it's like, okay, my hero doesn't do it great. The other examples around me don't do it great. Why do I think I'm gonna do it great? Why do I think I'm going to be partly successful in this? Why do I think it's going to last past a year? Why do I think it's going to last past 2 years? Here's your opportunity to run. Don't ruin this girl's life type thing. But I like, those are the questions that those are the conversations that I had with myself, because it's like, man, you've been in all these long relationships and you were never able to make anything last. And I mean, when I say long relationships, I'm talking about 4 years, 2 years, 4 years, 8 years before her. If you're in a relationship with somebody for 8 years and you guys don't produce like marriage out of that, like something's got to be wrong, man. I mean, I'm just saying, man, to be married with somebody, I mean, in a relationship with somebody for that long and y'all don't get married, I mean, it's crazy. But you know, I got all the negativity out of my head, and you know, it just went. That day was beautiful. So I'm gonna take you to one of the most touching moments that our photographer caught. There was some pollen or something in the air. I don't know what was going on, but something was flying around in the air.
Here we go.
And he caught me at this moment. So
inside the building.
So this was me standing at the altar. You can see my brother next to me, where when I saw her coming down the aisle. This is what this picture is from. Her walking down the aisle, and I was just like, man, at this moment, this is the most beautiful woman in the world. You know, there's nothing, you know, it's just me and her. It was like 110, 115 people in there. And at that moment, it was just me and her. Like, my eyes were locked on hers and I couldn't see anything else but her. And I'm like, well, this is the person that I'm going to be with forever. And it was amazing, man. I don't know what else to say about it, but it was amazing. So so the pollen wasn't just on my end though, because look at this now. So
no, I wasn't used to wearing eyelashes.
Yeah,
my
right.
Got in my eyes. That's what that was.
So here she is just here she is standing with her parents. Look, you know, it was a surreal moment, man. It was like one of those moments where you just like, damn, this is really happening, because I've always been the guy. Like, anybody who knows me, man, I have a YouTube persona. I mean, it's okay. I have a YouTube persona. People think a certain way of me because of certain things I say. But I'm not necessarily that person. It's just, but I've always been the guy that wanted the wife, the house, the kids, maybe the dog eventually, the white picket fence. I've always been that guy. Like, I never was the guy that wanted to be the player and run around and have all these different women and do this. And I've never been that guy. So the fact that it was like, she was there, like, this was the woman that I said, you know what? I want to give you my last name. I want to give you the best that I got right now. The best that I got right now is my name. It's not a terrible name, but this is the best that I got right now. And I want to give it to you. And I hope that we could build from that. And I mean, so it was crazy, man. That was a surreal, and that was 10 years ago. And the time is just gone by, and it's just, so what were your thoughts of the wedding day?
There was a lot going on that day. It was very surreal because I always knew that I wanted to be married. And like you, I didn't have the example of a marriage in the house past the age of 4. My mom and dad were divorced. So the only marriages that I saw were family members. And you don't really know what's going on in a family member's in somebody else's marriage. So it may look good on the outside, but of course you don't know really what's going on. So I never had that firsthand example of what it meant to be married, but I knew that I wanted to have my person. So having that day finally come, it was like surreal. And I was just trying to take everything in, because people always say enjoy the moment, because once the wedding is over, that's it. And all you're going to have are those memories. So I was just trying to spend that day just taking everything in, enjoying the moment. I pinched myself a few times to make sure that it was real. And I'm like, after all this time, yes. And that was in that moment on that picture, I'm like, this is it. Like everything that I prayed for, I knew that it wasn't going to be a perfect journey. Nothing is perfect, but I knew that I had finally found my person, and that I was equipped with what I needed to, put in the work to make it last. Wow. Look at it. We look so young.
I know. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, man, that was a tremendous.
Look at us.
That was a fantastic day, man. Like that.
Wow.
Like that day went perfect. And it's so funny because it rained at the end of the wedding, and I I didn't even care. It was just like whatever.
Our spring romance. We had a spring shower.
Yeah, I mean and my whole thing too, I always say this, like April 21st, 2013, that was for her. Like that was her day. But I was more so concerned with April 22nd, 2013, because now after the wedding is over, the celebration is over. Now you have to be a husband. And again, what example have I seen as to what the hell a husband is supposed to be? So, I mean, it's just like here we are though, 10 years later, and we're still here. I mean, we've gone through, I'm not going to say that we've gone through, like, I mean, some relationships go through hell and high water. I mean, we went through some hells in other areas, but we always found a way to just fight through it and deal with it and just come back from it, and just never let anything just take you out, man. And I want to say, and I'm saying this for a reason, because I think that so many times, especially young people, you guys are so quick to give up on everything. You can't take anything. Our young people nowadays can't take getting beat up, so they go out and get guns. They can't take being criticized, so they go out and they do all type of craziness. If you're in a relationship with somebody that you say you love and you get married, is one thing. If you guys are just going together, fine, leave each other, whatever. But if you get married, you can't just say, oh, I don't want to be married to this person anymore, let me be done with them. Huh?
That's the for better or worse part. There's going to be some worse.
like you guys take wedding vows, and then you just disrespect the wedding vows so easy and so matter of fact, like they're nothing, man. The fact that 50% of marriages end in divorce, something's wrong, man, because people aren't seeing examples. People aren't seeing the good side of marriage. The media always likes to portray the bad part of marriage. It's like, oh, marriage is this, and marriage is only a business, and marriage is this and that. They always show the ugly side of marriage. They never show the beauty of marriage. They never show the fact that, man, you can have fun in marriage. Like, I mean, we got married at 33. We weren't young by that standard, but we were young. I mean, there was life in us that we did things together, and you know what I'm saying? And this was even before kids, you know what I mean? So it's like, I think when people get married, they forget how to date one another still. And I think I feel like I almost said I could preach. Oh boy. Every now and then it slip out.
Come on out.
Every now and then it slip out. But I feel like I could do a whole marriage training, man, where people need to see like real marriages, not that crap that you see on TV, not that entertainment crap. People need to see like real marriages. So this next picture I want to show you, This is a picture from our engagement shoot. And what I love about this picture so much, like this is us. Literally, we move to the beat of our own drum. like we literally don't care about the surroundings about us. You know, we have a saying in this house, like it's us, it's team us. We don't care about what anybody else thinks. It's us.
At all.
Like that's all we care about. You know what I mean? Is us. Like we're the ones, you know what I mean? And that's how we live. That's how we've been so successful, that we literally move to the beat of our own drum. And it's work,
and it
man.
It's us.
Yeah. It's been beautiful. So what advice would you give to people looking to get married, but they see the ugly side of, the perceived ugly side of it?
Know that what you get out of your marriage is what you put into it. A lot of time, these negative marriages that you're seeing, it's about what they're putting into it. And also have a good reason for getting married. Don't just look at that one wedding day. Like he said April 21st was for me. Like, I wanted a beautiful wedding. I got my beautiful wedding. But after that wedding left, okay, now what? Like, okay, I'm married to this person now. I need to make this work with this person so that we didn't just spend these thousands of dollars on this one day. So you have to put in the work. What you put in is what you get out of it. Have open communication and express your expectations before you get married. A lot of times when their marriages are not working, it's because they'll get married and then either your expectations of that person change, or now you're finally verbalizing what your expectations were, but you didn't let them know from the beginning. Okay, now that we're married, now I expect blah, 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 blah. And there, you may start getting some pushback. So have that conversation ahead of time. We're heading towards marriage. This is what I expect in my husband. And men, this is what I expect in my wife. And have that conversation. If it means that you're bumping heads and you're not seeing eye to eye, maybe you don't need to get married, or maybe you need to seek some counseling so you can have someone help you come to a common ground. That's something that we did. We sought counseling. It was a long counseling, but it was good. And I revert back to some of what our pastor, my uncle, rest in peace, what he taught us during our training to prepare for marriage, because, he talked about there being different types of love. And he talked about, it's not always going to be easy. It's going to be hard. And when we make those vows for better or worse, you can't just expect that everything is just going to be better. Don't anticipate the worst, but know that eventually there is going to be some worse. There are going to be some bad times, and you have to be able to fight for it, communicate, and not just think about yourselves and your wants and needs, but also this person that you are committing your life to for the rest of your life. Don't just go into it knowing that there is an escape plan. Of course, there's divorce, there's annulments, but why would you want to go into that knowing, well, if he doesn't do what I want him to do, if she doesn't act right, then I can just get a divorce. That's right, Keela, be one flesh. So when you are becoming one flesh, shout out New Life Praise Worship Center. When you are becoming one flesh, go into it knowing that you have to be one flesh. You have to work together. You have to compromise. You have to communicate and not just be all about self. I know that was a lot, but marriage is a lot. It's a lot of work. It's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be fun. Sometimes you are going to get on each other's nerves. Go to another room, calm down, get it together, and then bring it back together to figure out, okay, how are we going to make this marriage continue to work? Because marriage is work. That's all I got right now.
I'd like to echo that. Shout out to New Life Praise and Worship Center. When we went through the B1 Flesh, I call it training, because it was supposed to be a 4-week class, and ended up feeling like it was like 8 months.
It was 9 months.
Yeah, it was like 9 months.
We had a baby.
But I think, yeah, the class was longer than it was in your stomach. I feel like it trained us for so much, because like NeNe said, when sometimes things will come up, and I often think back to that, and even in the worst situation of my life, like with my daughter and everything, I was just sitting there playing back in my head what Overseer Barr used to say to me. So I think Yeah, I think the problem, man, people aren't trained. I mean, they get trained for everything else, but they don't get trained for like the biggest decision that they have to make in their life. When we first got together, I've worked for the same company for 20 years. So she's only known me to be there. I wasn't in the position that I'm in now. So when she got with me, like I wouldn't say I was a full reclamation project, but I was rough. I was rough around the edges. You know what I mean? So I think you gotta sometimes everybody's not gonna be ready made. There's no such thing as a ready made person for marriage because they're not gonna in all the categories. Excuse me, they're not gonna check off every box. It's just never going to happen. So you got to figure out like, man, am I going to be okay with working with this? Am I going to be okay with working with this? Don't get married knowing that they don't check off in this box, but you still get into that marriage knowing that you're now going to complain about it the whole time.
Right.
You know, and that's another thing. You're like, man, if they can't handle money and stuff, you knew they couldn't handle money in the first place. Why did you think it was going to get better when you got married? Like what?
Communication.
Yeah, I mean, bro, like I really feel like we might need to start teaching some marriage counseling or something, man, because we make marriage seem so much harder than it is, man. Things come along and you deal with it, you fight through it because y'all are one, y'all a couple, that's what y'all supposed to do. The fact that people let any little thing come and now all of a sudden I don't want to do this anymore is because I don't know. I don't think they ever were really committed to it 100%. And you know, I just kind of threw that one in there. You get that one for free, but so yeah, it's weird though. It always just weirds me out, man, when I just see couples just giving up so quick. Like they don't want to get married. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done with her and I'm leaving the house and this and that. We've had plenty of arguments, but I couldn't go further than the living room, or I couldn't go further than the family room. You know what I mean? Sometimes I laid right there in the same bed and just turned the other way. You know, it's crazy, man. We gotta do better. We gotta do better as a community. I always say that. That's why our communities are failing. That's why our communities are failing the way that they are. I got a debate coming up this Sunday, and my debate topic is the black man in a position to correct the black woman? I got that debate coming up Sunday night over on Solar Vision Debate League. I think you might want to tune in because the information that I'm going to bring is going to be very, very, very interesting. Shout out to the league. But yeah, so and like I say, we're just going down memory lane, man. We both took today off and we decided, you know what, let's just do this. So just random photo where we just chill, and you guys can see I still have my gold teeth at this time. Yeah. If you look, you'll see that.
Barely showing them. Now he won't close his mouth.
So now there's a story somewhere online about the gold teeth, man. But I have the gold teeth still. I had the gold teeth still at the time, but like we just chill, like we legit we just do our thing. It's always been us. It's always been us. Just
one thing
always.
That works for us though is that we are friends. Like we respect each other and we like each other. So even when you get on my nerves, when I get on your nerves, it's not just even about the love. Like I love you, but I also like you. Like you are my friend. So regardless of what we're going through, I want to work it out because I want my friend. I want this person that I like spending my time with to still be there. You know what I mean? So that's important. Like the person that you're with, even though, you know, they do some things that get on your nerves, do you like this person? Do you enjoy being around this person? Do you respect this person? That is important. And that's some things that you need to ask yourself before you start looking at having this big, beautiful wedding. Because once that wedding is gone, you still have to be around this person. So make it enjoyable. Be with somebody that you want to be around.
One second. I wanna answer Wayne real quick. Wayne, if Angel or Solar, if you guys are in the chat, drop the link to the channel, please. But Wayne, you could look it up. It's Solar Vision. Just type in on YouTube Solar Vision Debate League, and you'll see it. That's where it's gonna be. I probably need to link the page to this channel so I could.
Yeah,
it'd be easy to do that. I don't know how to do all that, but yeah, if you look up Solar Vision Debate League, you'll see it. You'll see my Master P debate on there too. Master P versus Jay-Z. So another thing, like I mentioned earlier, like when she got me, I wasn't in a position. Whereas it's not like now, you know, because I wasn't in the position that I'm in now at work. I wasn't making the money then that I was now at work. And things, you know, but I always had in my mind, like, man, you know, I want to do better for my wife. I want to get, you know, I want my wife wanted an SUV. Like I wanted to be able to do all those things. You know what I mean? I wanted to put my wife in a house. I didn't want to be in an apartment all my life. I'm like, man, I got a family, you know, we need space and things like that. So it takes me to the next photo that I'm going to show. This photo is one of those things where you just had to be in the building. When I say that, like, the reaction that I had in this picture caused everybody to just pause and choke. And they didn't know the story behind what was going on here. Like this was just a culmination of when this happened. I was like, man, everything I told her dad I was going to do, like it, you know what I'm saying? Like all that stuff meant something to me. Like when I told her dad that I'm like, Mr. Sir, I'm going to take care of your daughter. You know what I mean? You're not going to have to worry about that. Like I meant that. So it comes
when you told my pop.
Yeah. When I told Pop, yeah, because Pop wasn't having that.
You needed to be afraid of.
Pop was at the engagement dinner. He was at the engagement dinner. He watched me propose to her, and he still didn't know. Like he's like, nah, he still gotta come to me. Like
he said,
he's
you
like,
didn't ask me.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't ask him. I'm like, man, you just saw everything go down. He's like, nah. He said, nah, you got to come through me, son. And I'm like, yeah. So you know, man. So here, this photo is a culmination of just the relationship. And this was September 25th, 2020. Yeah. This is the day we bought our house. And this is us at the signing table. And the reason I broke down like this is because you have to understand, a lot of times as men, we make these promises to these women and things like that, and then things happen, and you're like, man, is it ever going to happen? Like, is it going to come to fruition? And I'm like, man, when this happened, it was like just the culmination of, yeah, I got it. I did it. I did what I said I was going to do. I did it. Oh, hey, what's up, Kat? Glad you came by. Yeah, you see, you guys watch over on Facebook. That's really good. Yeah, it was just it was a culmination, man, of just like, I did it. I got my wife that house that she wanted. I got my daughter her backyard that she wanted. You know what I mean? And it just meant something to me. Like as a man, as men, a lot of times we suffer in silence because we want to do so much. Like for a good man, I'll tell you, I'm gonna drop a lot of free game on y'all women. We hear everything. When y'all talking about, I want to do this and I wish we had this, or I wish we did this, we thinking in our minds like, man, I need to try to find a means now to make that happen. How am I going to get this to happen? Maybe if I do this, then maybe we could get here. Man, if I move this around, then we could do this. That's the plight of being a man. So while you guys are talking about ideas, we're sitting in the back, like trying to figure out how we're going to make 2 and 2 work. We legit were convincing ourselves that, you know, we were going to just be okay with living in an apartment. It was a 4th of July. We were at a 4th of July party. This is before the 19 hit. It was before, yeah. So we were at a 4th of July party. And we, like, after the party, I just went quiet and I'm just looking around and I'm like, you know what? I want this. I'm like, this is what I want. you know, the have the backyard and the space and everybody, you know, you got the whole family over and they could be, this person could be there. And we've had party. We've been here for the time that we've been here. And we've already had so many parties, so many get-togethers here. We've had up to 50 people at one time in our backyard with a bounce house, with multiple tents
every year.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just the ability to say, hey, let me give my wife this and she'll take care of this. Let me give her the house and she'll make it the home. Let me do that. Like all that type of stuff. I'm corny. Y'all call me corny. Y'all call me whatever you want, but I still believe in a lot of traditional ways of thinking. I think like this new age thinking stuff has completely tore us up. It like has it's like completely destroyed us, man. Like this new age thinking is where we don't need each other. I don't need you. I don't need you. I can do this by myself and blah, 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 blah. I don't need a man. It's so funny. What, earlier this week, the garbage disposal was jammed up. I always mess with her about this. The garbage disposal was jammed up. So I went and I did my thing. And then when I got it working again, I just looked at it. I was like, yeah. I said, but y'all don't need no man, huh?
And what I said, I ain't never told that lie. I'm very strong, independent Black woman. Hear me roar. I have never spit those words out my mouth. I don't need a man. I need and want one.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like I never thought we'd live in a world where you got Black women saying that they don't need a Black man. Or hell, for that matter, you got Black men saying they don't need Black women. or women or women in general, but I'll do that on a messier stream. But I mean it's insane, man. The like, to me, marriage is beautiful. Marriage is that beautiful thing. Marriage is that ugly thing. Marriage is that thing that y'all both could cry together. Like we've had times where we just had to hold each other and cry. But we had times that we could hold each other and rejoice. All the tears weren't of sorrow.
Right.
We had more tears of rejoicing than we ever had tears of sorrow. But the fact is that when the tears of sorrow came, we were there for one another. We've lost people in life that man, that shit hurt, man. Man, I'm talking about when Uncle Randall died, man, that thing killed me, man. It literally hurt. It hurt. Like it was one of those things where I was just like, man, it hurt. But she was right there. And that's her uncle. It's not even like it's my uncle. It's her uncle. So that's what I'm saying, man. It just bothers me when I just see like marriage has been so minimized, man. Now all we doing, the thing that kills me, marriage is just a piece of paper. Really? Like that's what we're doing now? We're reducing marriage to just being a piece of paper. I guess. I mean, I love it.
It is for them. That's what they're made.
If you like it, I love it. Where were we here? This is, look at me. I'm shining. Well, them teeth just. Where were we? This was at a wedding?
This was at a wedding last year.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a fun night. Fun time. I felt
and you can see I don't even have my beard in that one. I didn't.
All the teeth in his mouth. For sure. Yeah. All of
it. Look at see. That's a grown folks look right there. You see the lust in her eyes looking at me.
Say, why are you two looking at each other like that? Don't worry about it. Go on.
You see the lust in her eyes for me right there. Like that's, and I wonder. I mean, this wasn't too long ago, but I'm
right before the pandemic hit, February 2020.
Okay, so I mean, but yeah, she still looks at me that way. You know what I'm saying? And I'll say this. Let's say this because I'm the segue king. So when we first got together, that's when I was in the height. Like I said, that's when I was in the height of my bodybuilding. I think at the time I was probably like 210 pounds. Max, when we first got together. And it's funny because one of my coworkers, because I have that picture hanging up in my office, and one of my coworkers walked in and saw it, and he was like, "Dang," he said, "You were small then, like you were slimmer. You had a slimmer frame, not necessarily smaller." But so that was in the height of when I was working out. So obviously I've gotten heavier. I mean, hell, it's been like 13 years in totality since we've been together. And so I think like with you've gotten thicker, like thicker in a good way though. Cause I always like to say you thicker than racial tension in America. You filled out more in the right spaces. Let's just put it that way.
Well, thank you.
So how do you how do you keep the desire though, like the look? Because I mean we're creatures of, we like what we see, you know what I mean? So like how do you keep it from like, ew, I don't want to look at you, you know what I mean? Like, ew, I don't want to look at you anymore, which I mean that's not me. I'm just saying I'm a little heavier than I was. And so you got me one way, but here we are 13 years later, it's, there's an obvious change.
I think with that, it also, obviously, yes, you still want to be physically attracted to the person that you're with, but also it helps when in totality, your reason for getting together is not just about the physical. Like we connected on, like, yes, I was attracted to you. Of course you were attracted to me, but we also connected beyond us being physically attracted to each other. So I think that plays a role in, bodies change. You may start, because I feel uncomfortable. I got this little mommy pouch that I be trying to hide sometimes now. So, looking at the other person and not seeing what you saw 13 years ago, it's about realistic expectations. That person, like you're falling for this person, you want to marry this person, you see how they look now. You have to be realistic. They are not always going to look like that. So going into this marriage, yes, I love the muscles, I love the slimness, I love that six-pack that you love showing off and the muscles and all of that, but I was realistic. That's not always going to be like that, so I went in with the mentality of knowing that I need to make sure that I'm attracted to this person beyond just the physical. If he loses all of that, am I still going to want to be there? So I am still physically attracted to you, but I also still feel things for you because of just the person that you are. So I still feel like I have that package of being physically attracted to you mentally and emotionally, and just the fact of what you provide for me, not just finances and all of that, but what you provide for me in our relationship. It makes me feel comfortable. So it's a combination of all of that.
I'll take it.
Sorry, y'all. I talk with my hands, so
because I've heard women over on these spaces talk so bad about their husbands. I'll take it. I'm good. That's why I was like, man, I don't know. Like when Venkat used to always tell me, man, you need to come over here. You need to come over here. I was like, nah. I'm like, man, this is a disgusting place, man. As far as the way, people turn family members against one another and things like that. But, over here at the Straight Talk Society, we don't do all of that. You know what I'm saying? You got a safe space over here. We don't allow that, and we don't do all of that. And then everybody's more than welcome to come on and, give their thoughts or whatever. Yeah. So, but yeah, she made a great point though. You gotta connect to something more than the physical. Yeah. I mean, cause we were so much younger and things like that. And you don't want to ever let yourself go. Like that's the thing. None of us let ourselves go, but it's the difference between over time, a man gaining 20 extra pounds or a woman gaining 20 extra pounds. Are you going to let the 20 extra pounds, cause you to want to leave this woman?
Right.
Or are you going to let the 20 extra pounds cause you to want to leave this man?
And if you feel like, okay, I'm not as attractive to my person as I was, like, be grown about it. Like that's your woman, that's your man. Have that conversation, and she may or he may not feel as comfortable and realize, you know what, I have changed a lot, and have a conversation like, what can I do to help you? Like, you want to go to the gym? Like, let's change our eating habits. Like, become a part of that, help them get through that, because you don't know what they're feeling and what they're going through at the same time. So don't just be like, oh, I ain't attracted to her no more, so I'm just gonna go out here and step out here, and like, that's childish. Like, grow up, talk, communicate.
Oh man, I didn't even see you put this on here. All right.
I've just been adding stuff as we've been talking.
So we talk about you hear us mention Overseer Bar a lot of times. I didn't even see this was on here. So this is one of my favorite wedding pictures.
He prepared us to go through and overcome the hard times in marriage because he was real. He let us know you're not always going to look at each other all lovingly and all of that. And we don't always look at each other lovingly, but we went into the marriage knowing that there are going to be times that we're not going to be happy, that we're not going to feel all lovey-dovey, and that we are going to have to work hard. So we didn't go in it with this, fairy tale expectation of it's always going to be beautiful and peaches and cream, and we're always going to be happy, and we're always going to want to say I love you before we go to bed. No, sometimes I'm pissed at him and I don't want to talk to him before I go to bed. But I know that when I wake up in the morning, that's still going to be my husband. I'm not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. And we just going to work through this. He prepared us for this. And that's why we've been married 10 years, and we're going to be married a whole bunch of more 10 years.
Yeah, he was awesome, man. And so if you guys listen to the Straight Talk with Trevor podcast, the first show I ever did outside of the introduction was entitled Living with Regret. I talked about my relationship with my stepmom, and with her dying, and I was real open and honest with that, man. If you guys, that's the first show I ever did. You guys might want to go check that one out. That was, and I've been thinking lately that I may do something like that, just about, because with me, when I'm behind this microphone, like, I feel like it's literally, regardless of who's listening, it's just me. I don't care who all listens to it and things like that. And I could convey my message and my emotion when I'm behind this mic. And I've been thinking about it for a while, but I'm at some point I'm going to do a show. We've done collective shows dedicated to Overseer, but I'm going to do a show just specifically me talking about my relationship with him, nobody else. I feel like I gotta do that. I'm just sitting here thinking, and it just, because a lot of things were left unsaid, and I just feel like I gotta get that out. I didn't like how things ended at the end. I didn't. Like, I wish before he died that he knew. I feel like he knew, but you don't know, man, because death is so final. I just wish that he knew, like, the impact that he made in my life. Like, I always say, that, the one thing that bothers me so much is that my stepmom isn't alive today. Just outside of the fact that her just being alive, but her being alive to see what I become. Like, everything that she said that I could be, I would have loved for her to see it now. I would have loved for her to see my daughter. I would have loved for her to meet my wife. I would have loved for her to see that everything she was teaching me from I was young. She taught me how to cook when I was 7. She taught me how to iron. Like, she would literally put a bag of clothes there, and I would have to iron it every Sunday. I started doing this when I was 7. She taught me how to wash. She taught me how to clean. And she said the reason that she was doing that is because she never wanted me to have to depend on a woman for anything when it comes to that. Like, she always wanted me to be self-sufficient. Like, I could throw down when it comes to in the kitchen and stuff like that. And I wish that she'd have been alive today to see like what happened, even though the short period of time, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, she what we weren't together that long. I mean, I think she came in my life when I was 4, and then they got divorced when I was like 14. So she only spent like 10 years in totality, like being in the house with me. But we, before she died, we talk all the time and things like that. And I go see her, and it's just that, like, I just think about it, man. Like, you got to make sure that when people are in your life and people put so much into you and they pour so much into you, you owe them a debt to see that stuff through. Like, man, because I'm just sitting here now and I'm starting to think about it, and I'm like, man, all the stuff she used to tell me. I used to always ask her why she was so hard on me, and when it came to school, and why was she always so hard on me when it came to certain things. And then she used to always tell me, because she just know that one day I'm gonna be so great, man. It's like she just knew it. And I really wish that she was there the day I got married. I really, really wish she was there. And in the back of my mind, as I'm getting married and I'm looking out in the audience, I'm just sitting there like, man, somebody's missing. I mean, my mom was there. My dad was there. But somebody was missing. And it just I know I don't hold on, man. Hold on.
All right. So that goes to show, even when you're having issues, and that could go for your marriage, like you never know. So you may have your ups and your downs, and you may have the issues that you go through with each other, but at the end of the day, you always want to make sure that what you're feeling and what they mean to you, make sure that you express that, because you never know. You never know. So that's important. I'm gonna mute him, let him have his moment. He, whenever he talks about her, and I really wish that I could have met her to let her know that what she instilled in him as a man, I get to experience that. Like, I get the result of having this man when I come home from work, and we both work hard. I come home from work, sometimes, I don't feel like cooking. Like, I'm tired. I've been dealing with hard-head elementary school children all day, and then afterwards I have Leia I have to deal with. Sometimes I don't feel like cooking. I am blessed to have my person, my partner, my equal. He'll hop inside of that kitchen and he'll whip up something for the family. So I appreciate what she put inside of him to prepare him for that. It doesn't have to all fall on me to do things. Having a partner to help around the house with cleaning up. It's not, okay, you the woman, so you handle that. No, he's my partner. He helps me with cleaning up. He helps me with raising our daughter. He takes care of things that I can't, or that I don't want to. Like, we have this house, this huge backyard. That's not my ministry, but I know I can rely on my person. And I call him my person because he is my person. I can rely on him to make sure that backyard is taken care of and that things are good. When I'm having issues, that's why I have never been and never will be the one to say I don't need a man. Like, yes, I can do a lot of things on my own. If I had to be by myself, obviously I'm not going to die. I'm not going to be out on the street or everything. But, I appreciate having my person there to help pick up the slack or just help support me, and then know that I can do the same thing for him. I can be there in ways that he needs me to be there. And all of these things have to be thought about before you just jump into, oh, we're going to have this big, beautiful wedding. Because that wedding was 10 years ago. And we've had 10 years of life, life that we've had to live. And it was not always easy. There have been some crying times, good and bad. But these 10 years have not been easy. But because we looked past that wedding day and we took our for better or for worse seriously, it brought us 10 years later. We're able to have this conversation. And I look forward to, in 10 years from now, I know YouTube's still going to be here. We're going to have this conversation again about the last 20 years of being married. He's back. You okay, baby?
Yeah, it's bad circulation in here, man. I be telling you this.
No.
Yeah, I don't.
We have pollen in the studio.
I'm on this side of the house. The air don't reach all the way on this side of the house. Yeah, yeah, I'm back, man.
Gosh, what am I gonna do with you?
Like I think about things, man. Like when I tell you, men, we be when you're left alone to your thoughts and you sit there and you're like, man, you start thinking of things and you're like, man, what could I have done different? Like even when me and my wife get in arguments or stuff like that, I'll always, if it's going to be like an argument, I'll always just be like, you know what? Think about it now. You really think you want this woman to walk away from you? Like think about it. Like I had these conversations with myself. Like think about it. Like before you say that or before you do that, or just think about it. Be mad, because I'm not I'm serious when I say I don't curse at her. Like, I mean, once or twice you may have heard me curse at her, just got too crazy. And when I curse, it was never even the situation that had anything to do with her. That's the crazy part. But I don't curse at her. Like I do what a lot of men do too. So a lot of times we go quiet, and probably sometimes it would be better if you just yell at them and just get it out.
Yes.
But yeah, I just go quiet, and then I go into my cave, and and I always talk about the caveman. I think I'm gonna do I'm planning on doing something here. I think that's where I'm gonna do it. Remember we talked about the other night, I want to do like a late night series. Mm-hmm. Just get up at midnight, 12, 1 o'clock and just hit record. And I think that's what that's going to be. That's where I'll do my things like that, where I talk about my stepmom, I talk about Overseer Bar, I talk about the caveman experience. I think that's where I'm going to do that, where the late nights, because that's where I could just let it out. And then, it'll just be there. You want to listen to it, you go listen to it, fine. But I think that's what I'm gonna start doing. So what in this marriage, this union, I mean, 10 years and we got forever to go. Like what's the happiest? I'm pretty sure it's going to be collective on what we're going to say here, but like, what's the best thing to come out of this marriage?
Ah, baby girl. Leia.
I mean, like, obviously there, if you know us outside of YouTube, like you follow us on social media. Oh, what's this picture? Oh, yeah. Oh, so let me show y'all.
Us going through one of our hard times.
Okay. So yeah, there's a picture circulating on the internet where it shows TD Jakes and his wife before they got money and then after they got money. So this is our before picture. Like, you see how we just look all gangly and everything, and it's just like
we were going through a lot.
Yeah, this was around the time when we were going through like hell. I mean, I had blown up, I had gotten huge.
And I was losing weight.
Yeah, she was losing weight, I was gaining it. And it was not good, man. It just wasn't good. It was not good. We were dealing with a lot because that's when our daughter was in the hospital and we kept going back and forth to the hospital. It just wasn't good. It just wasn't good. Let me get that picture off of there.
I like that idea, Bridget. She said cave therapy. That could be a good title for your thing. I like that.
Oh, yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it just that time wasn't good. But yeah, I think we unanimously just agreed that the best thing that happened to us in the relationship was our little princess. And that's because there was a time where we never thought that was going to happen. So, here's that thing where you're thinking like, okay, you're married now, we're doing everything right. You know what I'm saying? We're next in line to be parents. And now and then it doesn't happen. You're like, all right, well, that's 1 year. What's going on? And it's not happening. And then when it does happen, it doesn't happen like you saw on TV. It doesn't happen. You don't get the fairy tale experience. You don't get to have the baby shower. You don't get to have, all the gifts and everything like that. And everybody celebrates you, and you get to do what do they call it? The baby shower shoot, or what, paternity?
The gender reveal.
Yeah, you don't get to do a gender reveal. You don't have a paternity shoot.
Yes.
You don't get to do any of that. I don't get to have a cute picture where I hold your stomach and things like that. Because guess what? Now we're about to turn your life upside down. and it was just like, that was like one of the most frustrating times in our marriage, because up until that point, everything was so good. Like we were still in like that phase where it was just like, oh yeah, everything's good. You're doing stuff together. You're going together here, doing this, doing that. Everything was easy. You don't have anything to worry about. Bills are taken care of, everything like that. Hey, let's throw this baby in your mix now that you're going to have to spend her first damn near 3 months in the hospital. What? And that's where you see what you're made of. That's what you see that's where you see what the bonding is. That's where you see, of everything that you've been taught. That's where you see all of that. Like what is your training? That's why I say we probably do need to start doing this. But this is what people don't know how to go through anything together. You have these issues, and it's just like at the first sign, like what if I just was like, you know what, deal with this on your own type stuff? Or what if she was like, you know what, deal with this on your own? I mean, it got rough. Like we were arguing with each other, and the whole time, the whole thing with our daughter, like we were arguing at each other, but you could tell we were never arguing at each other. We were arguing at the situation. But we just happened to be in the way of things. You know what I mean? And it's just like it just, that's what I'm talking about. Like marriage, man. Marriage is work. Marriage is a career and investment that you sign up for.
And that's why having a bond with your partner is so important, because we could have easily let the things that we were feeling towards each other and saying to each other, that if we were ever going to split up or divorce, that would have been the time. That would have been the straw that broke the camel's back. But because we had that foundation before we got married, because we had all of that in us, that's what helped us to get through that together. But that, of everything we've been through, that would have been it. That could have been it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was, but again, you're with your partner, you're with your best friend, and you deal with it. Little mama's trying to come where you are, huh? I could tell, because I see the look. I could tell by the look on your face.
That mama/teacher look.
So, all right. So we mentioned her. So now here's one of my oh man. See, now you're just throwing the pictures in. Look at this couple.
Our first Christmas.
Look at us.
That's when I put that post. That was gonna be my last Christmas as a single woman. Like
this.
Nowhere.
This was over my uncle's house Christmas night, and and I asked her to come through. Look at that. I was already telling her just come on through. You know what I mean? It wasn't no you got
after our first date.
It wasn't no you got to wait. Yeah, because our first date was December 17th, exactly. And then Christmas was right after that. Yeah. So it's not like the whole you got to wait like 90 days before you see the family and stuff like that. I'm like, no, just come on through. Let me introduce you to this side of the family.
Threw me right to the wolves.
The ones that matter. The ones that whose opinion I value, like my uncle, and he just loves her. So that was
experience.
So that was all good. But look at us, man. Look how small we were.
That stomach.
That's what I was all about 215 there. I was all about 215 pounds there. Now I'm like 250, 255. That was a long time ago.
Almost 13 years ago.
But what's funny, those pants could still fit me. That's a that's a long time ago, but those pants could still fit me. You got any more pictures before I put up
I'm
my
done.
last one?
I'm
Okay,
done.
because every time I look down, I see a new picture pop up. All right, so we mentioned like the biggest blessing to this marriage, the biggest thing, like the thing that basically in the marriage just sealed the deal. You know, and the thing, and this is where a lot of my anger comes from when you guys hear me talk about like deadbeat dads and things like that. Now you get to see this is where my anger comes in, and the way our men treat our women and things like that. Because I'm like, man, how the hell could you treat the mother of your child a certain way? Like, I feel like the woman that gives you that has a kid for you, you should put her on a pedestal that's, you know, just above anything, because she literally gave you life
And risked her life.
Yeah, and risked her life for it. You know, I don't know if Wayne is still in the chat, but I know where what's going to come behind this. But we can have that conversation later. But yeah, I know a man carries a seed and this and that, but you can't incubate that seed without her. And it's like this is why y'all will hear me say things when I say that I feel like the black woman is the closest. Listen to what I said. I said I feel like the black woman is the closest thing to God on earth. That's what I say. I don't say the black woman is God. I would never say that. I just think that she's the closest thing to God on earth, because she gives life. Like, she legit gives life. And when I see men treat the mother of their kids all type of ways, and I see, you know, guys beating up their baby mamas and stuff like that, is just deplorable, man. Because like, I think about everything that this woman had to go through just to bring my daughter into this world, and now I'm supposed to turn around and just be like, oh gee, thanks, whatever. No, you sealed the deal. Like, you gave me the one thing in life that I always wanted and a long time thought I never was going to get. She gave it to me. So it's like, so, you know, so here we have the family.
We have to update that picture. That was 3
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, this is. I mean, we were taking a bunch of, but this was our last professional one.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is to me the American dream. So you keep we always know the American dream is the house and the car and the white picket fence and everything like that. But to me, this is the American dream. All the having the family and you know, being able to provide for your family and just I mean, there's really no words for it when, you know, and there's really no words for it. The way that I feel. Hey, what's going on, St. Louis? This is like, honestly, there's no words for this, man. I feel so complete right now. I'm so content with my life. I mean, I want a new truck and things like that, but like all that stuff means nothing to me. It's just things that I just want, you know what I mean? But like when they have made my life so much better, because when I think of all the heads that I should have busted along the way, I think about them, and I think about, like, if I do this, then it's going to put a strain on them. Like, when I say they keep me grounded, they literally keep me grounded. There's been times where I've gotten situations, even at work, where I'm just like, you know what? And I'm thinking to myself, say, man, you better thank those two girls that I got. You better thank those two girls that I got at home, because if not, you like legit would be laying out here on this floor right now. And that's the God honest truth, man. Like, to me, my family is everything to me. They're the culmination of everything that I work so hard for. Everything that I do is for them. You know, I know people always say, "Oh, you gotta do things for yourself," and then blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's good. But when I make a commitment to be with someone, and then she blesses me with an offspring, like what kind of man would I be to neglect them, or what kind of man would I be to leave them out desolate? Like, come on, man. And that's why I be so angry, man. That's why I got this. That's why I had this. That's why people think the way they think about me on YouTube, because they hear me say things like this, but they never really know why I say it. Because when I think of the fact that my daughter had to be in the hospital for 3 months, you know what they told me when my daughter was born and my wife was under anesthesia? They told me, "Sir, we're going to do everything we can, but we can't guarantee that she's going to be all right." This was at the same time I'm looking at my daughter being in a little plastic bag, because she was no bigger than from like here to here. So when you hear me railing against deadbeat dads and I just hammer it home how I hate deadbeat dads, that's why I hate y'all. Because to me, y'all don't really deserve to breathe the same type of air that us regular men breathe. The fact that you could bring kids in this world and then turn your back on them, you don't make an effort to see them. You don't, I mean, it's ridiculous. So I'm going to continue to harp on you. I'm going to continue to lean on you. I'm going to continue to call you out until you just do better. Just do better.
Stop being a deadbeat dad, you'll stop being offended by it.
Yeah, just do better. You know, what's the wording? But the Bible calls you men that don't take care of your family like reprobate. They call you, you know, you're an abomination unto God. You don't take care of your family. Like you like the lowest form of human being. You know what I'm saying? So I go off on my tangents and stuff, but you have to realize where I'm coming from. I don't hate any specific group of people or anything like that, but it's just certain things that I see that bothers me, and it has to be called out. Here it is. I'm celebrating my 10 years of being married to this woman. We've seen ups and downs. We've had highs, we've had lows, but the one constant is we always found a way to make it work. We always found a way to come back to one another. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't, like I said, there's been times where we argued and things like, there's been times that we argue with one another and things like that. But I just go to the family room, or, you know, it's just like, you can't leave the house. Yeah. It's not, you can't leave the house because there's trouble out there. The worst thing you could do, you get in an argument and then you go leave and then you go end up messing around and now you're in a whole nother issue. And you ruin your life over a temporary argument. You know what I'm saying? Like my cousin Zay says some real funny. Zay said this one time. He said most God, I'll remember it before the show is over, because I want to do it justice when he said the way he said it. But yeah, it just I just want to say, man, that I'm happy to be married, and it's my duty. Like my partner St. Louis is in the chat, and he'll tell you his whole thing is he wants to help the kids in the community. That's what he does. He goes out and he ministers to kids. My whole thing is I want to bring back marriage. I want to bring back marriage to the community, man. I want to bring the black man and the black woman back together. Because I always say it, and it's true. We'll never progress. We will never, ever progress as a people until we come back together and build together. It's the truth. It's the truth. There's a reason why there's this big wedge being driven between us. It's because they know, the powers that be know that if we keep going like this, then they got you. The best way to kill a people is to cut off his ability to reproduce. And that's by taking the black man out of the home. That's about making the black man now turn around and say, you know what? I don't want nothing to do with you, black woman. Let me go elsewhere. You cut the head off of a snake, eventually he's going to die. I mean, it is just what it is. My whole thing has always been, it's never changed. It's all about community building. I care about building this community. That's what I care about. That's all I talk about. That's my whole agenda. Call out the bull crap, hold people accountable and responsible for their actions. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, let's find a way to do this. Let's find a way to come back to this. And that's what it's all about. So you asked me how come we would do a show like this where we show our wedding pictures and we do this and we do this. You know why? Because people need to see it. We need to flood the internet with images of black love. You flood the internet with everything else, right? With all kind of other garbage. Why can't I flood the internet with images of black love? I'm done.
Period.
What time is it? Oh, we hit that 90-minute mark.
Yes, this was good. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you for the happy congratulations, Jesus, the happy anniversary messages. We appreciate. Thank you for those of you who have been watching, especially our Facebook friends and family. You've watched us develop from that very first date up until now. So thank you for just loving us and rocking with us and supporting us.
Yeah, definitely appreciate you guys over on Facebook, man. We've literally, it was told us one time that our daughter is basically Facebook's daughter, just because they watched her grow up and everything like that. So, and I appreciate that. All the amount of people, when she was in the hospital, people would just come by and come check on us and things like that. It just meant so much. I mean, when we got married, I wish we could have invited everybody, but the way that's set up, because weddings cost a lot of money. So, yeah. So the way that's set up, we kind of couldn't do that one, but we appreciate everybody that stuck by us.
We do.
For so long. I mean, because it's been a journey. It has been a tremendous journey, and we are constantly looking for ways to put that positive image out. As far as we've never said that we never had problems. You never heard us come up here and say that we're perfect. We never do that, because then we'd be lying. But we like to put that positive image out that you see, hey, this is what it can be if you put some work into it, and not be the one that's always want to run away and things like that. So over here on the Straight Talk Society, like I say, man, that's what this show is about. This channel is dedicated. Hey, what's going on, Juju? This channel is dedicated to positivity and just like making a change, man. I know it's just a very small percentage, but we got to put a dent in all the negativity that's going on in this world, man. Like, this is, our community is being attacked, and we're helping it be attacked by constantly sharing all the foolishness. And I mean, I could do a show where nothing but foolishness, and you get everybody in the world. But the minute you talk about some positivity, or you show pictures of positivity and stuff like that, nobody cares. And it's because we've been conditioned that way. So my whole thing now is like the reprogram. That's all I'm trying to do. Let's reprogram people for the better. Like, let's show them there's a better way. There's a better way to do things. I want to show y'all this one again, because like I say, this is my all-time favorite picture, man. And I want to take this picture over. So let me tell y'all, when I got my gold teeth taken out, there's a bunch of pictures that I want to take over again, and this is one of them. And the reason I want to take this one over for two reasons. I want to take this one over because you can see the gold teeth at the side, and plus I want my beard on that picture. I want that picture with me and the beard. So we're gonna have to recreate that picture for real, for real. Like we're gonna have to recreate that picture. Cause like that was like that's it, man. That's my favorite. That's my favorite picture, man. Yeah, hey man, if she ain't making you cry like this, what are you doing, man? Well, like, what are you doing? This was like one of the days. Those were like literally tears of joy because I was watching the finest thing in the world come down that aisle, and she still is the finest thing in the world. So, you know, I mean, it's crazy. Like life just has a way, man, to just come full circle, man. 10 years of marriage, and I still look at her the same way. Because I think she's gotten finer. So I even look at her now. I'm just looking at her like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to I'm trying to think of ways in my head to be like, damn, let's see if we could make my daughter, like, just put her out in the family room or something, and let's, you know what I'm saying? Let's just try to
come popping right up in there.
let's try to do something real quick. But that's part of the fun, man. When you're married, man,
oh my God,
you know, y'all made for each other. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah, I know she don't like this picture, man, but it just
I look a mess.
It just represents everything, man. I was spitting so much lyrics. I was spitting so much lyrics to her, and I pretty much made good on most of what I said.
You did.
There's still some things I got in store, but you know, we gonna get there. We got
to go.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Yeah, we got a lifetime to go, man. But everything I told her, you know, her dad and her grandfather, I think I've done it. You know, and in turn, she's done what she's supposed to do for me. She gave me life. She helped me. She gave me back my confidence. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be doing this show. Like Venkat is the one who pushed me to YouTube, but my wife is the one who pushed me to do the actual Straight Talk with Trevor. Like Straight Talk with Trevor was her idea based on all the conversations that we were having. She's the one who set up the podcast. She's the one who did all of that. So it's like she's basically giving me my confidence back, where there was a time where I lost my confidence. You couldn't tell by the way I get on this microphone and rip and run, but there's a time I wouldn't have done this. Like I had, like, my confidence was shot. You know, you know, and you need somebody good by your side, man, that'll just help build you up. And that's the necessity of a good mate. Like, they build you up. They help you. Yeah, they help you through the tough times. You know, that's why, you know, I know everybody don't believe, but a lot of us do. That's why, you know, the Lord said that I'm going to give you a help meet, someone to help you meet all your requirements. I'm going to give you a helper, because no man's an island. We can't do this all by ourselves. There's no way in the hell I'd want to try to raise my daughter by myself.
And these are the things that you want to think about before, again, looking past that one wedding day. What life do you want to have together? What life do you want to build together? What memories do you want to be able to look back on when you reach year 1, and then year 2, year 3, year 10? Now I'm looking forward to year 15 and then year 20. What life do you want to build with this person past that one pretty wedding day? I love this picture.
Yeah. This is another one we got to get blown. You know what's crazy?
Been here to see us 10 years later, like, and know the role he played in us getting to these 10 years.
You know what's crazy? Though? Like, we got all these pictures. We have, between the two of us, we probably got maybe 200,000 pictures, and that's no exaggeration. We got so many pictures that every time we bring them up, we're like, oh man, why don't we have that on our wall? We got this big ass house, and all the walls are bare. The only room that has pictures on the wall is our daughter's room. Like, we have all these pictures where we're like, oh man, we need to do this. Let's put this up. Just doesn't seem like we're really in a rush to, you know what I mean, to do any of that. But I mean, listen, it's been real fun, and this the clan, man. This is my heart right here. This is, I mean, this is the heart. This is where you. This is the heart.
We have to update the pictures.
Yeah, I mean, this is all them. Yeah, because even the little mama don't even look like that anymore. Yeah, and that was just a couple of years ago. Like, she's starting to grow like nobody's business. She's growing up so fast now. I just asked her last night, I'm like, why are you growing up so fast? And she was like, I don't know. God is doing it. So there you go. But listen, thank you guys for coming by. And if you guys didn't check out that Pour Your Heart Out episode last night, that was tremendous.
In the comments, check it out.
Yeah, go back and listen to that, man. That show was fire. Like, that show was great. And that's what you're going to get over here. Like, seriously, it's going to be something for everybody. I'm not gonna. It won't always be shows like this. It won't. We're always going to do something different. So please be sure and check that show out, though, because that show was talking about like a major topic in our community, like DNA testing and lies and deception and child support and things like that. That show actually was so good that what we're planning on doing is that we're gonna try to run that show back again, but just with the men added to the panel now. So in addition to the women, now you're gonna get it from both ends. So it'll be the man and the woman, both talking about it. So look forward to that. We still have she still can't wear that. Yeah, she still can't wear that. That's coming back. That's coming up soon. That's the one where everybody was asking for a part 2. So we're definitely going to do that. So I said earlier I was going to say this. I got a phone call the other morning. And I was like a fanboy during this phone call. This may not ring a bell to a lot of you guys. I see Angel in the chat. Angel may know this, surprisingly. Angel may know what I'm about to say here. But there's a pastor on YouTube named Geno Jennings. He's probably one of the most controversial pastors ever. And there was a time where, I was listening to this guy like nobody's business, especially when I stopped going to church. Like, Geno Jennings was my pastor. But what Geno, his specialty is he does biblical debates. He'll get random people that'll come up and they'll debate them. So I got a phone call yesterday morning. There is a video on YouTube. It's very terrible quality, but where he debated a fella named Reginald Young. Reginald Young is the only person on video that's documented to ever beat Geno Jennings in a debate. And guess who is coming on the Straight Talk Society to do an interview? Hey. I got an interview with Reginald Young. Reginald Young recently just debated Captain Tazariak and beat him. You guys know who Captain Tazariak is. Captain Tazariak, hell, I buy my body butters from Captain Tazariak. I love Captain Tazariak. But Reginald Young just recently beat him in a debate. So I got Reginald Young coming on my show. And when I was talking to him yesterday, man, I almost marked out like as if I was seeing Roman Reigns or something. Because I'm like, man, like, this is Reginald Young. So here's what's happening. It's going to be sometime in May, only because I got a lot to do. I got to debate this Sunday. I got to debate the following Saturday. Then we got the playoffs coming up. I got so much to do on top of all my other shows that I have to do. So I told him it'll be sometime. I told him it'll be sometime in May that we're going to do it. But he was okay with it. He just said if I just give him like a week's notice, is all good. You guys see a guy in the chat popping up lately named St. Louis. Me and him, we squashed our beef. Now it's time for us to build together. He's going to come over. We're going to build on some things. Likewise, I'm going to go over to him. Last night I was inundated by a whole bunch of Geno Jennings cronies last night. I have no idea how they made it over here, but they came over here. So now they're throwing out all type of debate challenges to me. So here's the deal. Like I said it, and I don't do those crazy type of debates. But if you want to see some structure, go to Solar Vision Debate. So go to Solar Vision Debate League on YouTube, and you see how a debate is structured. And if you guys could agree to something like that, then we may have something to talk about. I don't do the whole thing where you're just going to come on and yell for 5 minutes and 10 minutes. That doesn't work for me. It doesn't work. You don't have to do a presentation, nothing. Like that's stupidness. So go over to Solar Vision Debate League. Yeah, we got to find out a way to link Solar's channel over here so I could when I'm trying to give it out, we could easily do it, because I don't want to leave this page. I don't feel like I'm gonna lose something. But definitely got a lot coming up in store, man. Got a lot coming up. Once we get through these playoffs, then I'll have chances, like, really, that's when you're really going to see me bumping out show after show after show, just because I won't have to be thinking about what's coming up next. I could just knock things out and we'll be good to go. But this is where it's going to be at. You want your excitement, you want your entertainment. We got something for everybody. Pour your heart out. Like I said, I have no problem admitting it is the best show over here. It is. Just because when you have, it's just something about, like, if you didn't see the show last night, that show got to, the show is good when you got an all women show where they won't let the men on the panel, but you got nothing but men in the chat room arguing with one another. Like, that's how that's how you hit on something. And that's what I'm saying. That's what we're doing over here. So like and subscribe to the page so you can get the notifications. We try to put the premiere out so ahead of time, like, hey, this is coming up such and such. So just be on the lookout for that, man. We got a lot going on. NeNe, she didn't even want to do a show, but now that she done one, now
it was just gonna be one little segment. He was like, "No, you're not doing a segment. You got a whole show." I'm like, oh, but I'm enjoying it though.
Yeah, now they got a whole
rocking out with me.
Now they got a whole list of ideas and things that they want to do. So, so that's what we're gonna do. Like I say, thank you guys for coming by, helping us celebrate 10 years. 10 years, and we're still together. I mean, and going strong.
Happy together.
Yeah, we actually it's the thing, like, we're actually happy. It's not like we still like
each other. We still respect each other.
Not like some people I see, they married and you could tell that he's like, man, I'm just waiting to die any moment. Like, it's just it's like I'm legit, like, happy to come home, and and it's like sometimes, because the space thing always gets to people. Like, if you're honest, when you with somebody all the time, you need your own space here and there just to be over there. So, like, right now I'm sitting in my wife's office. So, because we, in our house, we have an actual office. So this is where she can come and do her thing and be creative and things like that. That's as far as the whole getting away space type of thing. Bring your ass in your office, and that's it. Don't, So I gotta look to probably buy another shed or something so I could build me a little something out there. But yeah, man, listen, it's all love, man. We just try to promote, like, love and positivity, man. Just black love, because black love is awesome. Black love is, like, it's legit awesome. So it's like, hey, we do our thing, man. It's us. It's team us. We've always that's how we've lasted so long. We only get, like, we care about us. Like, that's it. We mind the business that's paying us. Like, we mind us. That's it. And we don't get them.
That's one thing that we are selfish about.
Yeah.
The outside noise. It's us.
That we don't, if a family member is being toxic, then we'll cut that family member off. We don't let anybody invade this space. Like, nobody could invade this space, because this is our sanctuary, and that's how we do it. So I think that's what I'm gonna leave with, because people need to know that, man. Marriage is beautiful. I know it doesn't work for everybody, but I think it could work if people went into it with the right mindset, that they were taught. Some people need to be taught. They need some counseling, things like that. And I'm seriously considering, NeNe, that we might have to revisit what we were being groomed for, as far as doing some marriage counseling, because I think when people hear this side of it, they could take it a little better than somebody just coming and saying, "Oh yeah, you need to do this, Bible. Let's show it. Let's show the action.
Right.
Let's just show the action. See, now look at that. I'm taking something else up on my plate, man. I'm I don't know, man. I love this microphone, man. I love it. And I'm so glad that they pushed me to start doing these things live. Because at first I was just recording podcasts and that was it. But I just work so much better with a live audience and could feed off of them. I love it. I mean, I often say this is what I was born to do. I was born to do this. So I'm done, man. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you guys for the well wishes. Like I say, I got a debate coming up this Sunday at 9 o'clock at Solar Vision Debate League. It's going to be me and a brother named Madon Komet. And the topic of that debate is the black man in a position to correct the black woman? And all I'm saying is y'all show up for that debate, because everybody and their mama thinks that they know my approach. Everybody thinks that they're going to get Manosphere Trevor.
Because you hate black women and think that we just supposed to be in the house barefoot and pregnant.
Yeah.
No education, no opinions. Do I look like that shit?
Everybody thinks they're going to get Manosphere Trevor. Just stay tuned. Tune in Sunday. It's going to be fun. If anything, it's going to be entertaining as hell. Because this brother Madon is an entertaining joker, man, a slick talking joker. So y'all tune in, because it's going to be fun. Very fun. All right. So with that being said, I know I tried to close out like 10 times already, but that's me. You got any closing words?
No, I'm good. Again, just take heed to everything that we've said. Remember, it's more than just that one beautiful wedding day. Look past what am I going to be for this person and what do I need from this person past that wedding day to get me to year one. And then, okay, revisit. What do I need to get to year two? And just take it 1 year at a time, but always focusing on reaching the next year and not an exit plan. So just communicate, be smart, and that's it. Ready for my own sushi and my wine.
I leave you with these words. Always seek out the truth for yourself, because if not, you'll fall victim to other people's interpretations of them. Until next time, peace.
You know I'd like to get you something better than this, but I can't, because I don't have no money right now. I'm broke. So all I could really do is show you how much I love you and appreciate you. So happy Valentine's Day, baby.
Baby, I love you, don't you notice? You the reason why I wrote this. When everything else feels hopeless, you put it all back in focus. When I'm sad and I wanna cry, I can take a look into your eye. To your surprise, just realize you make me glad to be alive. Made you smile many times, made you cry plenty times. Apologize every time, need me, call me anytime. Together this world can be ours. Get the money and get the power. Give you candy, gifts and flowers, then caress you in the shower. Got big plans for the future. I'm your man, I just can't lose it. I gotta prove it to you the right way is how I do you. Need a real woman by my side, filled with love and a lot of pride. Don't keep your feelings up inside, express them to me and never hide. I'm not perfect, but I'm worth it, more to you than just your surface. All your kisses and your wishes making me feel all so nervous. Don't wanna live without true. There's something that's so real about you. I can't explain. You take my pain. My love for you is nothing but true. All the love I feel inside is keeping me alive. When I look into your eyes, it's keeping me alive. Whenever I see your smile, it's keeping me alive. Thoughts of us having a child, it's keeping me alive. Don't wanna be like Bonnie and Clyde, cause they already done died. Anticipate our wedding date, the day you become my bride. Cause I need you in my life, plus I see you as my wife. Our love don't have no price, kiss and hug at night, that's right. I love your waist and your thighs, love your face and your eyes. Your taste make me rise like a cake between your thighs. Never experienced real love until I finally met you. Cause you special, can't forget you. When you gotta go, it's hard to let you come back. Don't be long, you know I miss you when you gone. I can't kiss you when you gone. I won't hit you, that'll be wrong. Been through dilemmas like Nelly and Kelly, but you tell me that you ready. I believe you, won't deceive you, so I hold you nice and steady. Wipe your tears with my finger. I'm a rapper, you a singer. Many nights full of laughter now. Tell me, do you remember? Hold you close, propose a toast to the one that I love the most. Other women try to boast, but none of them could ever come close. All the love I feel inside is keeping me alive. When I look into your eyes, it's keeping me alive. Whenever I see your smile, it's keeping me alive. Thoughts of us having a child, it's keeping me alive. I would die for you, give my life for you, give my day, give my evening, and give my night for you. I'ma succeed, proceed to fulfill my dreams and share it all with my queen. Cause you already know one thing, I love and base just on some green. You deserve the finer things, necklace, chains, and diamond rings. When we get the same last name, maybe then your friend will stop playing these games. But until then, he on thin ice. Lately things ain't been too right. I guess it's just the stress of life that makes me a little bit less than I apologize. Please don't cry. Try those tears from beneath your eyes. Head to the sky, show your smile. Never give up and always try. When we apart, it hurts sometimes. We made it through the worst of times. Our time to shine. I'm glad you mine. We can stand the test of time. Cause I appreciate you. The best thing I did was date you. Never hate you, congratulate you. Show you love whenever I face you. Make me happy to be alive. To make you happy, I'm gonna strive. Be the best that I can be. You and me will always survive. All the love I feel inside is keeping me alive. When I look into your eyes, it's keeping me alive. Whenever I see your smile, it's keeping me alive. Thoughts of us having a child, it's keeping me alive.